Hey, you don't know me, but if you're familiar with the various perks in Fallout New Vegas, you've likely heard that In Shining Armor is a pretty terrible perk. Some even say it's the worst perk for a multitude of reasons, one of them being for the fact that it's a level 2 perk that's impossible to get at level 2. Or is it? That's what I'm going to find out today. This video is just going to be much shorter than the usual. There are no other restrictions other than to get the Shining Armor perk by level 2. Now, the In Shining Armor perk has two other requirements other than the level 2 one. A repair skill of 20, which doesn't really matter, and a science skill of 70. The reason why the repair skill isn't really that big of a deal is the fact that it might as well not be there at all for the sake of this challenge, since science and repair are influenced by the same special stat of intelligence. Speaking of special stats, let's go over the character creation. For my stats, the only thing needed is a 10 in intelligence and a 10 in luck. The rest can be spread out for your own preferences. The 10s there are just we can get the maximum possible boost to my science skill. For my tag skills, I picked science for obvious reasons, and the other two don't really matter. I didn't pick repair for tagging because at this point the 20-point requirement has already been surpassed. Last is the traits, which I choose skilled and good nature for an additional 10 points to that science skill, totaling in a science skill of 52 points. Up to now, if we were to level up, we'd only get an additional 15 skill points due to our maxed out intelligence, but 52 plus 15 only adds up to 67. Wait, 6-7?
We are doing the new 6-7 ritual! Alright, let's jump on each other!
We're just 3 points short of 70, but the video's not over yet. There's actually two different methods we can use to get those last remaining points. The first method is what you've probably already thought of. By leaving Good Springs, we can rebuild our character, and due to a glitch, we still have the 5 extra points applied from when we took the skill trait back in Doc Mitchell's house. Then we can apply 5 more points with another use of the skill trait, and with this method, all that we need to do now is level up, put 13 points into science, and earn the In Shining Armor perk. However, what if you didn't want to use an exploit to get this perk? Is it still possible? Well, there's one last method of raising skill points without needing to level up. Skill books. Specifically, we are looking for a big book of science. This book can be found in multiple locations across the Mojave, but most of them we cannot go for. First, we can cross off anything from the DLCs, then the one at Helios 1 due to it being a reward for the Lucky Old Sun quest, and lastly, the book inside RepCon headquarters isn't available due to it being behind a hardlock door, which requires a 75 in lockpicking. And yeah, I bet you see the issue there. That leaves Brewer's Beer bootlegging, Camp Forlorn Hope, and Nipton. I decided to pick that last one, due to it having the easiest path to go to. Though if you manage to make it past Deathclaws for Mutants and Cazadors and over to Brewer's Beer bootlegging, please let me know how that went. For the path to Nipton, I made sure not to run into any location so as to not level up prematurely. Along my journey, I ran past some mole rats and a super mutant camp that I didn't know was here. And did you know that if they have a super sledge, they will stop at nothing to bash your skull in? It made me accidentally narc a nearby location. And did you also know that they are a really good shot with the incinerator? I bet you didn't. Luckily, there were some, what are they called? Giant mutated sheep. They took care of them for me. Now, when I arrived at Nipton, I made sure to kill Oliver Swanik to make up for last video. And when Volpes and his goon squad walked out, I wondered if they wouldn't be enough to level me up. So I pulled out my mercenary grenade rifle and decided to find out. Turns out, they weren't. I then ran inside the town hall, past all the Legion mongrels inside, and found the big book of science at the top floor of the mayor's house, and read it, bringing my science skill to 55. All that was left for me now was to chop up some Legion mongrels and level up. And thanks to that, I raised my science skill up to 70 and was able to select the In Shining Armor perk. Wow, would you look at that? All that effort for a perk that doesn't even work. It's supposed to give a plus 5 DT against energy weapons, but due to a coding error, it gives plus 5 DT against energy. It doesn't even work on the lightweight armor I'm wearing. That's probably because it's from a different DLC. It does work on all these armors, though. You know, if it actually did work. Bye.